Hello everyone. So in this video, let's discuss the overview of Amazon EMR. Amazon EMR is also previously known as Amazon Elastic Map Reduce. Okay, so its full form is Elastic Map Reduce. Okay, so it's a Amazon Web Service tool for big data processing and analysis. Amazon markets EMR as an expandable, low configuration service that provides an alternative to running on-premises cluster computing. Amazon EMR is based on Apache Hadoop, okay, which is a Java-based programming framework that supports the processing of large data sets in a distributed computing environment. So using a MapReduce, a core component of Hadoop software framework, so developer can write the program that process the massive amount of unstructured data across the distributed cluster of processors or standalone computers. Okay, so Amazon EMR processes a big data across a Hadoop cluster of virtual servers on Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud and Amazon Simple Storage Service, that is S3. The Elastic in EMR name refers to the dynamic resizing of ability, which enables the administrator to increase or decrease the resources depending on their current needs. So this is what in the slide you can see. So it is a web service for spinning up the Hadoop cluster whenever it is needed or is on demand. So it has a variety of cluster sizes and the machine types. Okay, and even it has a pre-installed with the software and the configuration. Okay, so anyone like EMR is used for the data analysis in log analysis, web indexing, data warehousing, machine learning, financial analysis, okay, scientific simulation, bioinformatics. There are many ways. Okay, so it is used. Okay, it also supports the workloads based on the Apache Spark, like Apache Hive, okay, Presto, Apache HBase, okay. So even it integrates with the Hive and the Peg, okay. So there are many other tools, okay, which we'll be seeing in the hands-on, okay. So these are some of the available softwares, okay. So we have Hadoop, okay. So we have Hive, MapReduce, Spark, okay, Zeppelin Notebook, Zookeeper, Tez. Okay, so are the many different softwares which we can directly configure. Okay, so once we have just installed the EMR, configure the EMR. So these are some of the benefits. Okay, so we pay for what you need. Okay, and it has it built tight security. We can directly easily integrate with the S3 and we can do integrating the S3, like if you're working with the Zeppelin notebook, okay, just directly integrate with the S3. Then it is scriptable to AWS CLI. Okay, so there are the three different ways how we can just interact with the EMR. Okay, with help of CLI. Okay, so we have steps. Okay, we have something called steps, okay, where we can just add the steps. Okay, so whenever we are launching our clusters, okay, it will automatically execute all those steps. Directly we can use the web interface. Okay, so even it is scriptable through AWS CLI. Yeah, we even it has the APIs for the application integration. Okay, so as I told you, it has even the web management UIs. Okay, so this is a brief overview of EMR. Now let's move on to the next section. In this video, we'll understand the overview of EMR. Okay, so in detail, we'll understand in next section. Okay, so EMR stands for Elastic Map Reduce, and what it really is to it is used for is to it is used for to manage the Hadoop framework. Okay, that runs on the EC2 instance. So basically, Amazon took the Hadoop ecosystem and provided a runtime platform on the EC2. As I told you, so EMR is AWS servers. Okay, so but you to have to specify the servers which is needed. Okay, so like type of servers, whether it could general purpose, it's compute optimized, and the number of instances like you required, and the software configuration, like you need Spark, Hadoop, or Hive, right? So basically EMR lets you create and manage instances and provide access to servers to view the logs, see configuration, troubleshoot. Okay, for example, if you want Apache Spark installed on our EMR cluster, and if you want to get down and dirty and actually have a low level access to Apache Spark, and want to able to have the explicit control over the resources that it has, instead of having this totally opaque system, like we can do with the services like Glue ETL. Okay, where you don't see the servers, then EMR might be for you, right? So there's a lot of big data applications and open source software tools, okay, so that we can pre-install or we can install and configure ourselves on EMR by just clicking checkbox. And we can include the applications such as like HBase, Presto, Flink, Hive, or any other you can see. So this is how I just attach a snapshot here. Okay, so this is how you can just configure in these simple steps. Okay, so we need to select these softwares. Okay, so if we want to, this comes under the advanced section. Okay, so where if you want Hadoop or Hive, or you can see like you can do all this customization. Okay, so and this is how the nodes look. Okay, so master node, we have a task nodes and the core nodes. Okay, so this is what brief overview. Just understand what is EMR. Basically is elastic map reduce. Okay, so where we use to manage the Hadoop framework, right? So we'll understand how to configure in the practical section in the upcoming videos. Okay. Hello everyone, so welcome back. So in this video, let's see how we can just launch EMR cluster. Okay, so I have just logged on to my AWS Management Console. So you can just search for EMR. Already I have EMR in my dashboard. I'll just click onto this EMR. Okay, so this is my page. Okay, so where I can just create a new cluster. Okay, these are already running clusters. Okay, so which is got terminated. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the create cluster. Okay, so if I click on the create cluster, okay, so there are the two options. Okay, how to create a cluster. Okay, so one is the quick option, or whatever you're just seeing right now, it's a quick option, and we have something called advanced option. Okay, so we'll see both the options. Okay, for the general configuration, so first we need to give the cluster name. Okay, so after giving the cluster name, okay, so next here we have something called logging. You can just enable or disable this. Okay, so basically if you have just enabled, here they copy the cluster log files automatically to the S3. Okay, so this is what the S3 folder is. Okay, and we have a launch mode. One is cluster and one is a step execution. If you select the cluster, okay, EMR creates a cluster with a set of specified applications, okay, by default. Okay, if you have step execution, so with the step execution, EMR will create a cluster, execute added steps and terminates when it's done. So if you want to give the certain steps, okay, whenever launching the cluster, this is what it has to do. Okay, this is what the updates or configurations or pre-installed softwares has to be done. Okay, so you can just go with the step execution. So if you go with step execution, I need to add the steps. Okay, whether I need to give the high program, pick program, or some custom jar or spar application. Okay, so you can see the steps. There are more number of steps we need to add it. Okay, so when you are selecting the step execution under the cluster, okay, so by default it will add the some specified applications. Okay, so next under the software configuration, this is the different release. Okay, so which contains the set of application which can be installed on the cluster. Okay, so depending upon the different release, okay, for example, I'm just releasing, if I want to select this, you can see like all the versions, okay, will keep on changing. Okay, if I just select this, okay, you can see like here I have a Zeppelin notebook with this version. Okay, with this version I don't have Zeppelin notebook. Okay, so you can see like all these are different applications. Okay, so so depending on your use case, okay, you need to first select the release. Okay, so based on the release, so if I want to select 5.2.1, this is what the different applications I have. Okay, if I want to, so if I want Presto, I will be selecting, because in this we don't have Presto, right? So you should be very careful, okay, whenever you're doing the software configuration. So this is the hardware configuration. Okay, so where I need to select the instance type and the number of instances. Okay, so where it require one master and two core nodes. Okay, next is security and the access. Okay, for the security and the access, we need to give the key pair. Okay, so if I have already key pair, I can just select the key pair from here. Okay, and if you want to create a new key pair, you can just go to the EC2 instances and create a new key pair. So here already I have created a key pair name demo EC2. Okay, so I'll be selecting the same key pair here. Okay, yeah, so this is about the key pairs. Okay, this is the permissions. Okay, so I can go with the default. Okay, so where it uses the default IAM roles. If roles are not present, they will automatically create for you to manage policy for automatic policy updates. If you want to have custom, you can just give the custom permissions. Okay, so you can see like I need to give the EMR role and instance. So this is the default. I'll just select, and you need to click on create cluster. Okay, to go into the quick options. Okay, the other option is go to the advanced option. If I just go to the advanced option, we have a 4 steps where I can customize in much in detail. Okay, so I can With this release, I can just add other applications, like if I want Uzi in this, or if I want to have the Spark Zookeeper, or if I want to add the TensorFlow or Taze. Okay, you can just select this, right? So this is what under the software configuration for the multiple master node. Okay, I need to check this. Okay, of course we use to improve the cluster availability, right? So you can just check this. If you want to have the AWS glue data catalog, AWS glue is basically a ETL tool, right? So if you have all the data which is stored under the its catalog, okay, if you want to have the interaction with that, okay, you can just use for that's for while working with the Hive. Okay, if you want to use this, you can just check this. Okay, so here if I want to enter some configuration, okay, for example, if I want to use the map reduce, I don't want the test. Okay, so what I can do, so here you can see, so first I need to give the classification, then config file name, properties, and some of the keys and the value, right? For example, I can give like classification CAT. I want classification, so I want in the pig properties. Okay, so I'll just set properties. So I need to execute type is equal to MR. Okay, so this is how we edit these software settings. Okay, so you can just add many more things. Okay, so if you want the map reduce to be uh, um, installed, okay, to use the map reducing under my cluster, I can just write this type of configurations. Okay, so this is what the steps. Okay, so if you want to add these steps, even you can just add the multiple steps here. Okay, so next is here the hardware configuration. Okay, so so here we have a cluster composition. Okay, whether you need uniform instance groups or or instance fleets. Okay, so here basically specify the configuration of master core and task nodes as instance group or instance fleet. Okay, so you can see, for if I'm going with the uniform instance groups, it specifies single instance type and purchasing option for each node. Okay, this is uniform instances. Okay, so in the instance fleets, it specify the target capacity and how EMR fulfills it for each node type and makes instances and purchasing options. It's all about networking. Okay, so here I can just configure much in detail. Okay, so you can see like I have instance and with all the information. I can go with the spot instances or on demand. If I'm going with on spot instances, this is what the options I can just set. Okay, so this is you can see like in advanced option we have a more options to configure. Okay, where it depends on the user. Okay, what they want and what they don't want to add it. Okay, you can see like even we have EBS root volume where I can just set it. Okay, so even I can just set the auto termination. Okay, so this is I need to select the idle time. Okay, after which the my cluster will shut down automatically. Okay, so this is what 1 hour 0 minutes 1 hour it has been set to 1 hour. So here this is what the maximum of 1 minute or maximum of 24 hours has been. It's like a default value, like I can choose 1 minute or max of 24 hours. Okay, so that my cluster will get terminated if I'm just not working for a long time. Okay, so this is the cluster scaling. I can enable the cluster scaling. Okay, so this is all about the hardware components. Okay, so if I just keep it default and get to the next, this is the general cluster settings. Okay, so here I can enable the S3, okay, logging, okay, debugging, and the termination protection. Okay, so and finally next we have a security. Okay, so where I can give the key value pair and the default permissions. Okay, security configuration, and I need to click on create cluster. Okay, so same thing. Okay, so if I just go about quick option, so here we need so here these are the necessary uh, options which I need to select for the quick option. Okay, rest everything like whatever the options we there is a default options in the advanced. Okay, so like while selecting the hardware or cluster, it will remain the same, but in quick option these are the necessary changes which I can just make to my cluster. I can just select it quickly. Okay, so for example, if I'll just give my cluster name as ineuron cluster. Okay, so I'll just enable the logging. Okay, so I'll give the cluster. So here I'll just use 5.2.1. Okay, so I'll just select this Hadoop pig hive Taze. Okay, instance type I'll just keep it default, number of instances 3. So key value pair I'll just go with the demo EC2. I'll just check whether it's demo EC2. Yeah, demo EC2. Fine. So permissions, I'll keep default. I click on create cluster. So it's right now it's starting. Okay. So it will take few minutes. Okay. So once it's done, I'll get back in the next video. Okay, fine. So my cluster is started. Okay. So here you can see all the basic details like to connect to your cluster. Okay, one we have a master public DNS where I can connect to the master node using the SSH, and even I can use the web UI like application user interface. Okay, so I will be doing this both the methods. Okay, so before getting started, what you need to go do is first you need to go to the security group for the master. Okay, so I've just clicked on to this. Okay, so this is what the security groups. Okay, so first you need to select the security group for the master group. Security, there's a master group. Okay, after getting into this, go to the inbound rules. Okay, click on edit inbound rules. So here you need to add the SSH. Okay, and under the custom you need to select your IP address. Okay, so I have already added, so click select SSH, select your custom your IP address. This is my IP address, and click on save rules. Okay, or else you'll get an error, you're not able to access the SSH. This is what the step you need to add it. Okay, whenever you want to access your cluster. Okay, so I've already done this. So this is what the first step you need to do it. So next is to enable with SSH. Okay, you need putty, right? So you just go here and type putty download for Windows 10 or 11. Go to the putty.org and click on download putty. Okay, so once you download putty, okay, so while creating the cluster, if you remember, I've just selected the key pair value, right? So I've already already I've created the key pair value. Okay, so my key pair value is final key pair. Okay, so I'll just show you that. So this is my final key pair which I've just generated. Okay, so yeah, so these are the things which you need. Okay, so first I'll go to the here connect to the master node using SSH. So start putty. Okay, so I'll be starting putty. So this is what the putty. Okay, so then I need to give the host name. This is my host name. I'll just select this, copy, and I'll go to my putty and add it to the host name. Okay, next you need to go to the SSH auth. You need to select that .ppk file. So this is what the key pair value which I've just created. Okay, so that is final key pair. So in the previous video I was working with a different cluster, so I just created a new cluster called I need on cluster final, and I created a new key pair value which is .ppk file. Okay, if you are downloaded .pm file, so first you need to convert that into .ppk. How will you convert it? I'll just show you. Okay, first I'll select this, I'll click on OK. Okay, once you're done, you can just click on open. Okay, so you can see, so I got connected to my cluster, that is EMR. Okay, so if you have downloaded in the .pm file, okay, first you need to convert. How will you convert? Go to the putty gen. Okay, so click on load. Okay, so you need to select the .pm file, and after selecting that pm file, just click on save private key. Okay, it will convert into .ppk file. Okay, so this is how you connect to the master node. Okay, okay, so I've connected to the master node. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, these are the certain steps which you need to follow. So if you don't know how to create key pair, okay, so we know like just go to the EC2. If I go to the EC2 here, okay, under the EC2 we have key pairs. Okay, uh, key pairs. So here you need to create new key pair. So this is what the key pair I just created. Okay, so if you want to create new key pair, click on key pair, and here by default you just download it .ppk. If you want .pm file, you can just, but default it is .ppk, so that you can just directly enter it. Or else if you want to first download this .pm file, again you need to convert .ppk. So you can just download this .ppk file and create it. So this is all about connecting to the master node. Okay, so very simple step. Okay, so from here you can see right now I'm in the Hadoop. Okay, so this is my IP address, right? So here you can just access all the basic details. So this is the summary. Okay, so we'll walk through this in upcoming videos. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's try to connect with the web UI. Okay, so to connect with web UI, okay, we need to select this, there is enable SSH connection. Okay, you can see on cluster user interface, it's right now it's not enabled. Okay, I'll click on this enable. So we have two options here. So first we need to open SSH tunnel to Amazon EMR master node. Okay, to connect with the web UI, we need to add one more extra step. Okay, so I'll just show you that. And the next is to configure the Foxy proxy tool. So here we'll be using a proxy management tool that is called Foxy Proxy. Okay, so first step is you need to download that, and then I need to restart the Chrome. I need to add this. Okay, so this is some extra steps. So we have an easy method. Okay, we can add extension that is a Foxy Proxy. You need to go to the settings, go to the extensions. Under the extension, okay, so we have an option for open Chrome web store. So here search for the Foxy Proxy, and you can just directly add this extension to the Chrome. So which I've already added. Okay, so you can see this is my extension. There's a Foxy Proxy. Fine, so let's start. So first we need to open SSH tunnel and need to connect this. I'll just select this. I'll go to the putty. I'll add the host name. Then I'll go to the SSH. So under the auth, I'll just select this. Final key pair, I'll just select this. Okay, before clicking onto this open, we need to go to the one more step. So we need to expand the SSH and click on tunnels. So here we have something called tunnels. So under the tunnel, okay, I need to add the source port. So source port is 8157. Okay, I need to select the dynamic and set to auto. Okay, after this you click on, yeah, so first you need to add. Okay, so after this click on open. So it is got connected. Okay, this is my master node. Okay, so this first step is whatever I've just executed is the first step. Okay, open SSH tunnel to the Amazon EMR cluster. Next, I need to configure a Foxy proxy management tool. So instead of downloading things, I have just added the extension tool here, right? So what I'll do, so first step is before opening that, I'll just copy this file. Okay, there is settings XML file. I'll just copy this. I'll go to the text editor, notepad. I'll just save this, and I'll save this file as settings setting. Okay, setting.txt. I'll just save this. I'll close this. So next I'll go to the Foxy proxy. Okay, open the Foxy proxy, go to the options. Under the options, go to the import and export, choose file. You need to select that settings which I've just kept in the settings. Where is my settings? Or else I would have kept in downloads. Settings. Where is my settings? Desktop. Not in desktop. Where did I saved? Okay, so instead of, I'll just open new txt. I'll save. Yeah, it was in dataset. Okay, instead I'll just go to the downloads. I'll just give settings. Okay, I'll just save, close. I'll go here. So I'll just cancel, click on import export, choose file. I'll go to downloads, settings, open. Okay, so click on replace. Okay, so here in the proxy mode, use the proxy MR SOX proxy for all URLs. Okay, once you've selected this, okay, go to the proxies. So now if I just go to my EMR, so this steps is done. So if I just close this and go to my application user interface. So first let's check for the resource manager. I'll go here and let's try to add. It should work. Yeah, it's working. You can see, so it got connected. And if I want to go to the hue, So here, welcome to the Hue, create a Hue account. So first I need to create a Hue account. I'll give ineuron HUE, ineuron Hue, and the password I'll just set. Okay, I'll click on create account. I'll save. Okay, so you can see, so I logged into my Hue. So this is the checking configuration. Next, these are some of the examples. Users, go done. Okay, so I'm into the Hue. Okay, so this is my file browser. Okay, so this is what the HDFS file system. Okay, so this is how we connect with the web UI. So let's move on to the next section. So if you're finding any difficulty, let me in the discussion for. Hello everyone, so welcome back. So in this video, let's see how to use Hue to interact with the EMR. So in the previous video, we have set up, right? So we have seen how we can just connect to our master node using SSH and how to connect with user interface, right? So using the Foxy proxy management tool. Okay, so this is what the interface is, okay, for the EMR, okay. So here you can just in the first summary tab, okay, you can access all the major details, configuration details like Hadoop distribution, then what are the applications we have, and this is the log URI, okay. And if you scroll down, you have the security and access management, okay, so where you can just change any security features for the master and the core task. Okay, so in the application is the interface, you can access all the user interface, okay, Hue, Taze UI, okay, then resource manager, okay, then HDFS name node, okay, all the applications can be viewed from here. Okay, so you can just rightly copy, and this is what the Hue I just opened. Okay, so we know what is Hue, right? So Hadoop Hue is open source user interface or user interface for the Hadoop components, right? So the user can access the Hue right from within the browser and can enhance the productivity of the Hadoop developers. Okay, so this is developed by the Cloudra, and it is an open source project. Okay, so though here they can interact with the HDFS and the MapReduce applications. Okay, so and even users don't have to use this command line interface to use the Hadoop ecosystem. Okay, if they have used it, it's a BEM interface where they can access all things. Like for example, if I just go to the file browser, so here I can I can access this Hadoop file system, right? So you can see this is user. Under the user we have this ineuron Hue, which is the account which we created while logging into this Hue, right? While creating account in Hue. Okay, so here we have all the monitoring. Okay, so you can see the cluster status and even the node status. Is the node is ideal or content allocated, then applications failed, completed, running, submitted, all the details you can just see, even the node status. Okay, so even the input output. Okay, so like missing blocks, memory to total number of memory in megabytes. Okay, so this is what the monitoring you can see. So even you can just customize here. Okay, if you want to check hour ago or day ago. Next is this hardware components. You can see this is the two components which is running. So one is core and one is master. Okay, so and this is two instances, right? So if you remember, like whenever when we configured this EMR, we had a three components, right? So one is for the master and two for the core. Okay, if you want to resize, you can just resize here. So it's all the configurations. Okay, so events, this is the steps. Okay, so if you want to add a new step, you can just add it. And if you want to execute, like if I click to add step, so I need to upload the high program and pick program, then it will directly add those particular steps. This is a bootstrap actions. Okay, so this is about the interface. And here, if you want to terminate this, you can just directly click on this terminate. Okay, so EMR. If you want to clone it, okay, so this is AWS CLI export. Like from this CLI, you can just try to create this EMR cluster. This is the same code. Okay, so if you just try to run this, okay, so all the applications will get installed. Okay, so you can whatever we have just done here manually, when you can do with the AWS CLI. Okay, so this is all about cluster. Okay, so here let's do one simple project. Okay, so here if you just go to the group lens website, inside the data sets, okay, so we have a data set called movie lens 100k data set. So just download this. Okay, so ml 100k.zip, which I've already downloaded. Okay, so I have kept inside the data set. This is what I have just unzipped it. Okay, if you just try to unzip here, okay, so we have main two files. one is item file, and when we have data file. Let's try to open this. So if I just try to open, okay, so here we have 4 columns. So this is the movie, this is the customer ID given. I'll just open this item. Okay, you can see, yeah, so first one is the movie. Okay, so first one is the yeah, so first one is the so we have index number here, then we have a movie. Okay, so then we have the release date, then the ratings. Okay, so as well as the timestamp. Okay, so this is the timestamp, this is a timestamp, rating, this is the movie ID. Okay, so and this is the user ID, sorry, this is the user ID, and then we have a movie ID. Okay, so you can see the data over here. Okay, so this is what the data I've just downloaded. Okay, so what I'll do, let's try to upload this on the Hadoop file system. I'll go to the upload files, select files, and this data set. So I have this u.data. Let's try to upload that. Okay, and click OK. So you can see it got uploaded. Okay, so let's continue our discussion in the next video. Hello everyone, so welcome back. So in this video, let's analyze movie ratings with Hive on EMR. Okay, so I've uploaded this data under the Hadoop file system, right? So let's go and create first a database. If I just go to the Metastore manager, okay, so here I have a created movie lens. Okay, you can just go and click on plus here. After creating plus, give the database name. Okay, so I've already have created, so I'll just get back. So I've created a database name called movie lens. Okay, so I'll just go inside this movie lens, and I'll create a new table from a file. Okay, so data is in my HDFS, right? So I'll give the table name as the ratings. So description and the input file, I'll just select this input file, that is udata. I'll click on next. Okay, so this is my data, and you can just give the delimiter. Okay, you can see like automatically it is fine that is a tab separated. I click on next. So here let's give the column name. So first is user ID. Okay, so next is movie ID. So third column is rating, and this is the rating time. Okay, so let's go and create a table. So if I just go to the meta store and the ratings, and this is what the data I have. Okay, so I've added my data inside this table. Okay, that is ratings. Okay, in the database called movie lens. Okay, to work with queries, so we have a two option, either Hive or Pig. I'll go with the Hive. So this is the editor. So let's group the top movies which have already written the query here. I'll just copy this. Okay, so I'm just selecting the movie ID. Okay, so and I'm just grouping the rating count. Okay, group movie ID. Okay, I'm just counting the ratings for the each movie. Okay, so let's try to execute this. Yeah, so you can see I got the results. Okay, so this is the movie ID and this is the rating count. So for the movie ID 50, this is what the number of ratings I have, and for the movie ID 237, this is what the ratings. Okay, so this is how you can just query. Okay, so with help of Hive, even you can use the pig also. Okay, so this is the one way, and the I'll just show you the other way. Okay, with help of this EMR. Okay, so what I'll do first, I need to upload the Hive file inside the S3, so which I've already done. I'll just show you. In the Amazon S3, I have this Hadoop iNeuron. Inside the Hadoop iNeuron, I have just uploaded this top movies.hql file. Okay, this is Hive file. Okay, so let's try to run this Hive file. Okay, so how to run this? So if you are in this EMR, okay, so first is we need to go to the we need to copy this file. Okay, so this is I've already copied that AWS S3. Okay, so let's type this. If I just type AWS S3, the copy S3, this is the file location, that is Hadoop iNeuron. So this is the name of file, top movies dot hql. So copy this inside my in the same directory of Hadoop. Okay, so if I do ls, okay, you can see like top movies dot hql has been downloaded. Okay, so now to run the Hive file, so Hive Hive top movies dot hql. So you can see, so it's logging, it's taking initialization using configuration file. So waiting for the test session, you can see it's using the test. Okay, so in the background it's using the test. Okay, that's what I told you. So whenever when I explain the difference between the map reduce and the test, okay, it's using the in the backend using the test. Okay, okay, so it got executed. Okay, so here you can see so here the movies data. Okay, so here you can see the data, right? Output, you can see like I got 5583, right? So same output here also I got. So 5583. So next is 258. So that is 258 and 509. Okay, so this is the another way how you can just run the query. Okay, and the I'll just show you the one more step. Okay, so inside the management console, even we have something called steps. Okay, so even you can just try to add the step. Okay, so if I just try to click on step, I need to upload the Hive program. Okay, I need to give the a location. Okay, the location is Hadoop iNeuron. uh, Hadoop iNeuron. Okay, uh, top movies dot hql. Okay, so input output, so this LA, click on add. You can see the status is still pending. So it's running now. So if I click on view logs, so it's not yet created. So we can view the jobs from here. Okay, so for example, if I'm adding the step here, okay, after adding the steps, even you can just click on view jobs. Okay, so there is no jobs available. Okay, so if I just get back to steps, okay, so it's running. Okay, still it's running, so it will take some time. So once it's done, I'll just get back. Okay, so it got completed, you can see. So it got completed if I just click on view logs. So in the output section, so you can see I got the same output, that is movie ID is 50 and the rating is 583. Okay, so if you want to verify in the view, you can see the same thing. Okay, so so here this is how we interact. Like, this was a small demo. Okay, even you can just do similar thing with the pig as well.